Good evening, good evening, good evening. It is I, Miss Sophia the Diva, and I am back again, but not to discuss the politics of Tex-Mex versus other Mexican styles of food. Tonight, I am here with a very pressing matter about a young woman who is an elected state official for the state of Rhode Island, an Ivy League graduate, a black woman who is openly gay or bisexual. I don't know. This article just says she's LGBTQ plus. Okay. Hey, Tasha. So by now, everyone today has seen this video of Tiara Mack. She is an elected state senator for the 6th District of Rhode Island. And I guess she's running for re-election for this seat. And thought, let's spice up this publicity and use my TikTok to show off my clappers and my gymnastic skills of being able to twerk while doing a handstand or a headstand. It was a headstand. She was twerking while doing. I mean, it takes a lot of skill to do that, because I remember when I was in gymnastics many moons ago, how hard it was when I started the training of learning how to do handstands and headstands. That shit takes a lot of work. So it is commendable that she's able to do that. But sweetheart, dear heart, that ain't the way to win an election. But then when I looked and saw how old she was, I said, what in the hot girl, city girl summer is going on here? This child is 28 years old. She is a millennial. And maybe that's what she thinks will work to get her reelected. I would be curious to see what her last campaign was like. But it is very, very disheartening and disturbing. I feel as though, and I'm not trying to set in judgment of her, first of all. I just want to say that there is a time and a place and a way to finesse and do things. Me personally, I have had political aspirations at one point, but given the direction of this country, I just need to make millions and billions of dollars to save people, because the government don't give a damn about any of us. As long as their pockets are fat, they don't give a good goddamn, okay? So, on her day off, let's see because some of the clapbacks she had was funny as hell and just made it worse. I said, just stop responding. Just stop responding, because you're starting to sound like Marjorie Green Taylor on the hood rat side. Okay, I mean, we don't need this. Let me tell you why. Black women for centuries or for years have been, for some white men in particular, a fetish. Okay, we are exotic, and when they wouldn't give to taste a little bit of the blackberry, a cobbler, okay, so to speak. And we are often hypersexualized and often seen as easy prey, like we're just good for a good romp in the sheets. Not all white men see us that way. I know that, but I'm just saying, if you look at it historically from a stereotypical perspective, that is the way black women are seen. And what we do not need is for someone who is representative of a party I'm not even sure I identify with anymore, because as I've told y'all, as time has gone on these past 7 or 8 years, I've kind of become a little jaded when it comes to politics in general. And I kind of but I will not let Herschel Walker be my next senator from the state of Georgia, I'll tell you that much. But here's what she said. The 28-year-old 2016 Brown University graduate, this is coming from the Daily News, posted a series of videos making funny facial expressions as she leaned back into the backlash of the twerking video ignited. She said, "I don't ever want to hear you complain about," well, one commentator said, "I don't ever want to hear you complain about how women aren't respected in this country after posting this." Senator Mack's response, "Honey, baby, this ain't it because I have an Ivy League degree. I'm a sitting senator. It's not about what I'm wearing. It's not about what I'm doing. They won't respect me regardless." They won't respect you regardless. If there was even a granule of respect, it kind of went out the window with this video. And the quote unquote clapbacks. Then she said, "Do y'all really be coming on the internet without knowing how to do a simple Google search?" Max sarcastically asked in another comment, which erroneously referred to her as a U.S. senator. "I'm a state senator, baby girl. The United States ain't got nothing to do with me. She ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm just doing it in the union." In another, the Providence transplant from North Carolina poked fun at the grammar of the commenter who suggested that the TikTok video will have a negative impact on her in the voting booth. And she said, "I believe the word that you meant to use was reelected. It won't what did she say? I believe the word she meant to use was re-elected. It won't get be re-elected. And it probably will because my constituents freaking love that I'm a real person and fun, and you know I'm not a robot." On January 5th, 2021, one day before the insurrection, Mack, who believes representation is important, became the first openly LGBTQ black person to assume office after being elected to the Rhode Island Senate with 60% of the vote. And this is for the 6th District. I don't know a lot about Rhode Island. I know my proxy battle buddy when we were in MP school, Nicole Toady, is from Rhode Island, and that's pretty much all I know. And she's a dear, dear, dear sweet friend. And then prior to her successful political debut, she served as the youth organizing specialist at Planned Parenthood of Southern New England. No matter how much education you have, no matter how much money you have, you can't buy class, and you can't teach it sometimes. That was classless. What they think of us as black women, as black people, you have taken us back. Okay, this is not progressive. You know, use that brown education and make it do what it do. You are young. You were born in a time when everything is posted. All you came out the womb damn near using, let's see, this is 2022. Oh, no, but you would have been able to use a computer. I remember my mom had a 2-year-old in her 2-year-old class, Alex, who was very adept at using a computer at 2 years old. But you pretty much you grew up by your teenage years. You were in a time when everybody was post it, show it, no matter how crazy it is. Who cares about the consequences of my actions? Everybody's doing it. I don't know. By you being from North Carolina, I assume you were probably raised in a black conservative church going home. I don't know. But one of the things I do know is that you have to have some self-respect, and it is evident from this that you don't get that, but you can't help it because this is a time in which you grew up in a time of love and hip-hop and Bad Girls Club and all these things that, you know, set us back as black women. But when you are an elected official, there are certain protocols and things you have to follow. And unfortunately, that is why you are getting this backlash. Because now you out here looking like Boo Boo the Fool. And you can take it with a grain of salt or whatever. You know, if you notice how the Obamas navigated stuff, because I was telling my friend, I said, well, you know, Michelle didn't break out in them shorts until after they were done with politics, baby. So, you know, you can twerk, you can have you a good time. Ain't nothing wrong with having a good time and living your best life at 28 years old. I remember when I was 28, I was in law school, probably crying somewhere because it was so hard. And I was better than this, damn it. I was an A student for a long time, god damn it. Until law school, and then yeah. But either way, Tierra Mack, I want y'all to comment down below and what y'all think about this. I was in no way trying to per se be judgmental, but I just kind of wanted to say that that type of behavior is just ammunition for the other side to use. I really wish that more of the politicians that say that they represent me and my interests would start getting a little dirty. Because it is evident that in order to play this game in this country, you are not going to have to take Michelle Obama's advice at this point. When they go low, we got to go low. We got to get in the mud. We got to get in there and rough around with them, because they are not playing fair. I don't think we should play fair at this point. Whatever you got to do, you know, you do it. But this right here, and then I jokingly said, I said, where is Kevin Samuels? Can somebody dig him up and let him give a word on this? I would love to have heard what he had to say about this. But, you know, it's hot girl summer, I guess, for her on the 4th of July. But it really just more or less made me want to cry. Because I was like, this is a young black lady who has so much potential. I was like, you don't see Stacey Abrams out here twerking. I mean, she could have. I mean, if she wanted to. And since Stacey Abrams writes a lot of books and stuff, people don't know that's how she makes her money. She writes a lot of books, I think more legal thrillers or something. I really don't know. I have her books, but I haven't started reading. I have so many books to read these days. It ain't even funny. But I think that's all I wanted to talk about briefly here. I'm trying to do more videos and add more content to my YouTube. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube, all you got to do is go look for Afia the Diva, and you can find her and you can subscribe, because I need to get my numbers up. I need to become a millionaire. Papa, I'm a millionaire. But Saks Fifth Ave don't sell affection. I know. Let me sing it and speak it into reality like Khalees. Oh, there was something else I wanted to talk about real quick. And I got to finish watching this. But y'all, has anybody been watching, I think it's on A&E or whatever. Have y'all been watching the new Bobby Brown reality show? I mean, it will never compare to the original Bobby Brown reality show. I mean, it's sad because we knew the wreckage that was going on. You know, it was evident. I mean, like, Whitney wasn't even supposed to be a part of it, but she said she wanted to be part of it, and she did. But being Bobby Brown, this show will never top. This is a calmer, family-oriented, calm down Bobby Brown. But y'all, I don't know how many episodes there is. I got as far as Landon going on stage with his dad. Now, Bobby Brown had a son named Landon. At the same time that Whitney was pregnant with Bobby Christina, another woman was pregnant with Bobby Jr. Both Bobby Christina and Bobby Jr. are deceased. Then there's La Princia, his daughter. So that's 4. And then he has 3 kids with his wife. So that's 7. I think he had a total of 7 children. Well, Landon is the oldest. That's the firstborn. And Landon wants to pursue a career in music, but Landon is 36, 37, 38 years old. He's living in Michigan. He's an accountant, but he really wants to pursue a career in music. Y'all. Y'all. Now, we all know Bobby Brown at one point could croon his ass off. Some people disagree, but I feel like Bobby could sing. I don't give a fuck what y'all say. He could sing. Oh, excuse my language. So Landon gets up there because he wants to do background vocals for his and his dad calls him out onto stage to do a song with him. Now, we'd already seen him earlier in the show in the studio, and I don't even know what song he was singing, but let me see. Let me do an Usher song. And the voice cracked. Okay. Now, I by no means am a vocalist at all myself, but I tell you one thing, I was in the choir long enough to know how to hold a note. I was like, this boy ain't even trying. And then Bobby up there trying to make excuses to my, well, when I was in I couldn't, sometimes the song was just too high for me. I was like, Landon needs to go get vocal control. He needs to go see a vocal coach. I was like, baby, you need to call Patty Howard or call my sister Frances Smith and ask her who her vocal coach is, baby, because they used to sing background back in the day for Miss Whitney, honey. So maybe they can help you out. I don't know. But he was singing, let me see. You don't have to call. It's okay. Well, and I was like, every time the note got higher, that's not what he was singing, but I can't remember what he was singing, some original song. And then when his dad called him to do I Wanna Rock With You, Baby, he couldn't do that either. I'm like, did you not sing with your father? Because usually any songs that your parents have done, 9 times out of 10, you probably can at least sing along with them. But he said he was nervous and scared. And that's the other thing that I noticed about Landon a lot, is that he talks about, man, I really want to do this music career. And, I just, and then with my brother Bobby, dying, which, by the way, that was sad how Bobby Jr. died. I think he was 26 years old. And unfortunately got hold of that bad cocaine that's been going around laced with the fentanyl. I don't know how people can just free willy just do that when they know that danger is out there. I mean, we have lost so many to fentanyl overdoses. It's ridiculous. But anyways, Landon keeps proffering all these excuses, and it's almost kind of like how I was, kind of still am, about going back up on stage and doing stand-up comedy again. I revisit a lot of my old stuff, and I always talk about, I'm gonna go up, I'm gonna go find an open mic, I'm gonna go do this. But the truth of the matter is I'm a little scared. And the reason why I'm a little scared is because some years ago, when my friend Henry was here, he had me, this is so embarrassing. Here in Atlanta, I just really don't feel like I connect with certain audiences. I just don't. And I did my usual bit. I knew I only had 5 minutes. I forgot. It was some girl that was up in front of me, and she was bombing. I don't remember what her name was, but she bombed. And the host, instead of him bringing the audience back up, he just immediately said, here comes my friend, Miss Sophia the Diva, get up, go. And I do my usual bit. And I could already tell the audience wasn't connecting with me. They were probably still trying to recover from the bomb that went off before I got up there. And I always do this bit about being a crackhead prostitute, because I talk about how people who live seemingly normal lives never get any help from anybody because they think our lives are great. And now more and more I'm finding out that people who are single with no kids, they think our lives are great too. No, they're not. We have more bills than you think. We have a lot of dependents, okay? That we may not have to feed, but in order to keep that credit score, we got to do some things. And so anyways, I'm I'm doing my bit and I realize I'm not connecting. I'm one of those people, I don't stay on stage unless I'm being paid to stay up there for a certain amount of time. I don't stay on stage unless, I'm really connecting and, I'm not getting lighted. He didn't even have to light me. I just got off because I was like this. I said, well, it's been real. Thank you. I've been Miss Fia the Diva. As soon as I get off stage, the host goes, you should stick to law because you're not funny. And the whole audience erupted in laughter. And I kind of have been away from the stage pretty much since then. I've done things here and there, but not at the vigor and the speed that I used to go at comedy. But I've been revisiting my old material. And so I digress. Let me go back. But that's the same issue with Landon. I don't know why Landon won't, just because he actually has a voice. But he's so unsure of himself. And I just really feel like if he takes some vocal lessons, learn how to do the vocal exercises, because I don't know if he's been through that before or if Bobby has even provided an avenue for him to get there. But I just was sitting up there like, son, either it's like the old folks say, shit or get off the pot. One of the two. You got to do it. And that's what I've got to do for my own self too. And I stay writing. But that night crushed me for a time. And, and then what was even more embarrassing is right after that, L'Oreal comes in behind me. And then my other comedian friends were like, well, somebody got to take the L. You just happen to be the one to have to take it. It happens. Don't let it discourage you. I was so embarrassed. I was like, let me go sit my ass down. But I think after that, I may have done the Laughing Skull, and I did really well at the Laughing Skull. But that's my audience. That's my tribe. I know that now. So yeah, that's kind of why I really haven't been doing it. So I can understand Landon's hesitation, but I mean, that voice was cracking, baby. I was like, cause he was like, and I was like, okay, no, cut it. If you can't do, I want to rock with you, baby, all night long. If you can't do that, then I don't know what to tell you, buddy. Because I mean, it's not like, I mean, at that time Bobby's vocals were high, and if you can't sing at that, go get a vocal coach. That's all I'm gonna say. Just do that, because. Oh, Lord. Anyway, but that's all. I just came here to talk about Tierra Mack and wanted to hear, or not hear, but read people's thoughts on the matter, because I think it set us back, quite frankly. And, if you don't want to be seen as a sex type object, I think she just got roughhoused during the abortion protest in Rhode Island by the police, which is awful. I mean, the way some of these officers were out there manhandling women, it was just ridiculous. But I guess they like, you our property now, because that's pretty much what was going to be. Y'all going to be state-owned property. And I say y'all because I don't fall in the category where they, I can't give you a baby. I'm sorry, I just can't. You want some kids, y'all gonna have to go down the line there and find you somebody who can procreate for you. Because it's starting to look more and more like Gilead. Handmaid's Tale, yeah. Goddamn. But that's what I want to talk about. I feel like she set us back, and especially given the history of Black women in this country and how we are hypersexualized already by the powers that be, that think that we are a sex type thing. Twerking for votes. That's a new one. That is, I thought pole dancing for Jesus after services in Houston that time was the lady that advertised that. That's another bit I do, and that is a true story. This woman actually at one point had people coming. If you showed your church program, you could get in and twerk. after church. I said, Lord, they out here praise dancing on the pole, Jesus. But I think that's it. That's all. I ain't got no more. I've been Miss Sophia the Diva. And we will continue the debate on Tex-Mex versus others. Some of y'all just ain't had the right Tex-Mex. You got queso and some good guac. I'm just saying. But, in Georgia, it's Papacitos and Zama for me. And for authentic Mexican, thank God my former friend showed me that place, because I really was going to get up and leave. But God dog it, I could do me taco almost every day. But then again, I could also do Thai and ramen. And I swear, between being black, probably West African, probably got Asian, and some Latin country, and probably Spain. Well, I know I'm probably just Mediterranean Asian when it comes to the other categories. Predominantly, of course, West African. Probably from Ghana, Nigeria. Who knows? I need to do that 23andMe or whatever the hell it is they do. This lady was telling me I should do that. I really am curious to know about my heritage, because I have a predilection for Asian food and Mediterranean food all the time. And, of course, soul food and stuff like that. But, other food, I eat it. Here I go on the tangent. Let me get my ass off here. Y'all have a good night. And comment down below if you catch this on the playback way back, and let me know what you thought about Miss Tierra Mac with all her back out like. Okay, let me stop. I've been Miss Sophia the Diva. Good night.